Looks like there might be a little bit of movement on the Xenoblade Chronicles front, so we are going to discuss the update with that, in addition to the possibilities of what Nintendo could be planning based off of this. We've also got a huge update on Super Mario RPG and some other things that I want to cover with that game because it's doing some pretty impressive stuff so far. But before we get into all of that, what is good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you are someone new, and click that notification bell to get all of the best gaming lists for the Nintendo Switch, RPG content, live streams, and more as soon as they drop. Now let's go ahead and jump into the first topic here, kind of getting back into the flow of talking about some recent events, but also things that will be prevalent in the future when it comes to Nintendo. So let's talk about the thing that everyone is talking about when it comes to the Xenoblade fans, and that is this trademark that Nintendo has done recently. So back on November 7th, 2023, there was a Xenoblade Chronicles trademark filed by Nintendo Co., classified as Category 9 machines and appliances. There's a bunch of different categories. I'm using the Google Translate or like the Twitter Translate thing, so keep that in mind here, guys. I will put it up on screen, but I had a lot of you guys reach out to me about this Xenoblade Chronicles filing. And what does this say? Does this mean that there is a Xenoblade game soon coming, or that there's something that could be happening? Not necessarily. I think some people are taking this a bit too far. Now, if you go to what Takahashi has said, we know that the Xenoblade Chronicles series will continue. Nintendo, in terms of their liaison with Monolith Soft, they have stated that they want the series to continue. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, despite not selling as crazy as, let's say, Mario Wonder or something like that, or Smash Brothers, it still steadily picks up sales as the game goes on Black Friday deals, in addition to more people just getting into the franchise because of Pyra and Mythra and Smash, and because of people just seeing the quality of it. The more that people talk about Xenoblade, it's just something that's just always around or trending when it comes to the dedicated fan base. So more and more people are picking up Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, and 3, in addition to Torna being back in print in many places. So Xenoblade is still staying relevant, even though it's been more than a year since the last game came out. So I don't think that this really means that there's going to be something right away. However, I do think that this means that Nintendo clearly is going to take forward the franchise. There is going to be more Xenoblade, but I think the big thing here is, yes, we know Xenoblade is coming, but what's next for them? The next Xenoblade Chronicles title, the next Monolith Soft title. Well, in order to understand what's going on with that, we kind of have to look back in the past to see how Nintendo has utilized Monolith Soft, Xenoblade, or their next big games when it comes to a system, because we have a brand new system with the Nintendo Switch 2, heavily rumored by many credible sources to be launching in 2024. Now, Nintendo has used the last number of systems to really showcase that system with a Monolith Soft game outside of what they normally do, whether it's The Legend of Zelda or Super Mario or a franchise like that. But if you look at what Nintendo's done with the Wii U and with the Switch, Monolith Soft titles have been front and center in terms of being shown off early in the system's life. You go back to the Wii U, Xenoblade Chronicles X in that January. That was the one more last thing. That was the big ender for them. They wanted to show people that this is what we're working on. Fast forward to 2017 with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That was one of the big games that they showed off. So Monolith Soft and Nintendo have this connection. They have this vibe when it comes down to making sure that the new platform, especially in the HD era, the new platform has some type of big Monolith Soft type of reveal. And they reveal it early. They don't wait. They reveal it early and try to get it out as fast as possible. Didn't quite work out well for the Wii U considering all the issues that system had. But when it comes to Nintendo Switch, they did a phenomenal job when it comes to Xenoblade, with Xenoblade Chronicles 2 right there in the first year of the Nintendo Switch's lineup, actually right there in December, just snuck in 2017. And then you got Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition in 2020. Then you got Xenoblade Chronicles 3 in 2021. 2022, in addition to various different DLCs, 2018 for Torn of the Golden Country, and then 2023 for Future Redeemed. So they've done a phenomenal job with Xenoblade and showcasing it, and I think that that will be a showcase for them when it comes to Monolith Soft. Now, could this new trademark be Xenoblade something else? Xenoblade, the next chapter of the next story where they really change things up? It could be. Could it just be something that spins off into something completely different? Could be the new IP. There's a variety of different things that can happen here, but what I'm excited for is just to see that Monolith Soft not only is profitable and helping out, but also leading the way when it comes to Nintendo wanting to showcase systems. Monolith Soft has that trust. It's not something that's just given to any studio. You have to have a competent studio that can get the job done, and Monolith Soft has shown over the last number of years, heck, decades, that they are able to get the job done on Nintendo hardware. That's exactly the reason why Nintendo purchased them back in 2007. They saw the potential, but I don't think anybody guessed that it would have been where they are right now at this point, back when they first made that purchase. Now, let's talk about one more thing when it comes to Xenoblade Chronicles. Xenoblade Chronicles X, that's something that I get a lot of you guys asking me about. It seems like I make these videos quarterly or something like that. Every number of weeks or months, I have to have the new video on Xenoblade Chronicles X. So I think at this point, this late into the life, I think that Nintendo is absolutely going to do something with the game, but it might be a late Nintendo Switch port, or it could even be a Nintendo Switch 2 type of thing, or even a cross-generation thing at this point, but I don't know exactly where it's going to go. Now, I've been predicting since I think 2020 or something like that, that Xenoblade Chronicles X is coming. We did know that Takahashi said that, hey, they had issues when it comes to the port because it'd be expensive, but that was also right in the midst of them developing a lot of different games and putting together Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and trying to put together all the DLCs and the story and everything. So understandably, they're not really focused on that. I do think that this time period that we've had here, they could have had a team that did Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, or one of their teams actually do Xenoblade Chronicles X, get a port going for it, and maybe it is a late port or cross-gen title. Now, if they did wait and they put it on the Nintendo Switch 2, and maybe that's the big thing that we get, they announced, hey, look, Xenoblade Chronicles X will be on the Nintendo Switch in the first year of the Switch 2's lineup. And then they say the next Monolith Soft title is coming as well. So they kind of give us with a little 1-2 punch, almost like how Nintendo did it with Bayonetta 1, Bayonetta 2, and Bayonetta 3 at the Game Awards. I think that is very possible as well. Just have a little teaser, appetizer, then boom, big game after that. So that's all possible as well, as Nintendo has done a little bit of that, not necessarily, but Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition 2020, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 2022. Obviously, there was some overlap with those two games being developed. Could very well be the same thing here with the next big games from Monolith Soft. And we know for a fact, based off of the interviews with Xenoblade Chronicles 3, that they've already hard at their work on their next game, and they kind of wanted fans to kind of fantasize or kind of think about, I wonder what type of game we're going to be making. If you've played Xenoblade Chronicles 3, maybe they'll give you some ideas in terms of what we're going to be looking at. So Xenoblade Chronicles 3, obviously seamless battles, huge open world, massive amounts of damage and cool different things and characters and awesome stuff that honestly no other Switch game does. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what Monolith Soft has in store for us in the next generation of Nintendo hardware. Now let's go ahead and switch gears over to Super Mario RPG. I want to say that I'm having a blast with this game. My review will be done once I 100% or complete the game fully, and I'll put my hours count and I'll have a review for you guys. So hopefully you guys can look out for that within the next week or so. I'm still going through it, having a ton of fun, just battling, and the nostalgic vibes, the music, everything is just so awesome with this game. So I'm looking forward to talking about it more in my review. Now, let's talk about some of the other stuff though. When it comes to Super Mario RPG sales, it does seem like it's doing pretty well. Right now, it's #1 on the eShop, passing up Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and it's also #1 in many other regions as well. It's also a top 5 game sold on Amazon right now in new releases. So this is something that's absolutely positive to see. Now, Super Mario RPG is not a game that had this huge amount of clout or had this huge amount of sales from back on the Super Nintendo. It was a super late Super Nintendo game. And honestly, people were ready for the next thing. People were already playing PlayStation. They were getting ready for N64. N64 was there. So this was kind of like an afterthought for some. But for those who still played it back then, myself included, I was blown away by how good the game is. So when I found out that they're doing a remake, I was already over the moon.
Next, please take a look at this.
All right. What's this? Give me. Oh, let's go! This is my RPG. Let's go! It's back! Let's go! Oh, shit! Full remake, baby! Let's go! What? Now, I've gotten so many comments from peeps that never played the game because it's an old Super Nintendo game. Maybe you weren't born at the time, or it hasn't really been re-released or remastered at all. A couple virtual console releases, SNES Classic, and that's about it. Not really much when it comes down to it. So I've gotten a lot of you guys that have reached out to me and said, hey, thank you for letting me know about this game. Your coverage really helped me pick it up, and I'm loving it. Love the writing. Everything is so great. In addition to that, Mario RPG has been trending on Twitter a little bit too, depending on, you know, what type of things you look up. So seeing Mario RPG trending, seeing people DM me and reach out to me in the comment section of my videos and other things that Super Mario RPG is awesome. It's just so good to see that. So I'm happy that you guys are having fun with it. And if you haven't picked it up yet, yeah, it's awesome. Check out some of my previews or check out some of the review roundup and stuff like that if you want to maybe get into the game. Now, the Super Nintendo game sold around 2 to 3 million, I think, at least the vanilla game on the Super Nintendo. I don't have sales numbers, or at least the sales numbers haven't been revealed for like the virtual console releases or anything like that. And obviously with the Super Nintendo Classic, I think that sold over 5 million. So I guess you can theoretically count that, but probably not, right? So people have access to the game, but it wasn't like it was a massive seller or anything like that, like a huge, massive seller. So I think that this game is probably doing a bit better based off of what I've seen from the COMG charts, based off of what I've seen so far from Amazon eShop. I think that more people have far more access to this game now at this point than any other time for Super Mario RPG. And the Nintendo Switch has a crazy, like, massive RPG base of people that will buy RPGs a lot, especially Japanese turn-based RPGs. Now, we also have to look at it like this, guys. Super Mario RPG, it's coming at the end of the year. You got the Mario movie, right? You got Super Mario Bros. Wonder. You've got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with the new bundle that people are going to be picking up. This is going to be an easy pickup for families. It's going to be an easy pickup for people that are just getting into the Switch late into the game, where they say, okay, I can pick up Super Mario RPG, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe right there. The trifecta of Mario. It's the year of Mario at this point, and that's going to be a good pickup for people. You're going to have plenty to play, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Games that are fast, fun to play, can play with family and friends or by yourself as well. So I think that it's going to do really well. I mean, this is the last big Nintendo first party game of the year, so people are going to be thinking about it. We do have, I think, the Dragon Quest. Yeah, Dragon Quest is coming out, but once again, first party games. So I think things are going to go pretty well for Super Mario RPG this holiday, and I like what I'm seeing so far from people talking about the game and everything like that. Now, I do want to say this, I am putting together a holiday Switch and RPG buyer's guide. I'm looking forward to getting that out to you guys sometime this week, hopefully before Black Friday. But even then, there's a lot of deals that are going on. There's some like smaller deals. I want to go over the gambit of different things that you can pick up on the Nintendo Switch, because there's some really cool stuff happening, and also RPGs as well. It might not be as widespread because people are like, man, these deals aren't so good this year, but they're starting to kind of filter in. So I will have a big video kind of going over the pickups that I've already gotten at this point in addition to other stuff that could be happening as well. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. I want to say thank you to everybody who watched. I do appreciate that. Let me know what you guys think about all the different topics here from Xenoblade to Super Mario RPG in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you are someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch videos that are on Xenoblade, Super Mario RPG, other JRPGs, and more right here on screen. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.